If you are someone who often stops yourself from taking action, whether it's in your business or in your job or in starting a passion project or a hobby, and it's because you feel like you're not good enough or you don't have enough skill or evidence or results to claim what you're claiming. If that's you, then I want to just take you through what imposter syndrome is all about and how to actually shift these thoughts, these beliefs, these feelings so that you no longer get paralyzed by self-doubt and comparison and fear. Imposter syndrome and feeling like a fraud, this is such a common human experience. I have been working in the online space in different capacities for almost 8 years now. I've been in different network marketing companies. I've been part of teams of hundreds of women. I've had literally hundreds, probably even thousands of conversations over the years with different women of different ages and different backgrounds who all share the same thing. Since I've become a coach and I've started working with women, this is a really common thing that pops up in all of our sessions. And speaking on a personal level as well, I definitely have had imposter syndrome pop up at different times in my life. For years, I believed and I held myself back from really owning my space and owning my experience because I had the belief that I needed a piece of paper, i.e. a qualification, in order to share my experience and share my expertise. Now, despite having that belief, I also never had any intention of going to university. I never wanted it. I was never interested in it. I much preferred getting out there, living life, trying different things, learning on the job, learning practically. And you know what? I was really successful. Like I've had incredible jobs over the years. I was a zookeeper for almost 14 years and an animal trainer. I've done event management. I've done high-end tourism jobs. So it's not like a piece of paper or not having one has ever stopped me, but I knew how much importance society and other people put on having a qualification. So it actually stopped me. Despite doing some really cool things, it did actually stop me from going even bigger and really backing myself. It actually stopped me from having or starting a business for years. And it stopped me from thinking that I could be a coach. So for some reason, I had this belief that in order to be a coach, I needed to have some sort of piece of paper, some qualification. And it wasn't until I was working, I actually hired a coach. This was probably 6 or 7 years ago. And I hired her to help me with some branding and some marketing and to start creating my own offers. And the conversation a couple of months in come up and I shared, she actually said to me, hey, you should really look at doing some coaching. You'd be really good at it. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. I haven't done a course. I don't have a qualification. And she just looked at me. I'll never forget this. She stopped and she looked at me really simply and said, I don't have one. You don't need one. And it was just so matter of fact. And this was a multiple 6-figure coach that I loved working with. She was amazing at what she did. She was very successful. And in that moment, I realized, holy shit, I have been holding myself back and stopping myself from so many opportunities because I just had this silly thought that turned into a belief. So if you can resonate with that experience, if you know that you yourself have been holding yourself back, then this is going to be a really powerful conversation because I really want to make sure that I can help women see where they're holding themselves back and then what to actually do in the moment. So that's what I'm going to take you through. Just to know that you're not alone. This is very, very common, and hopefully over time this will become less common. And I'm going to show you really powerful but tangible, quick, simple ways that you can actually shift it in the moment when you start to notice it coming it up. Okay, so first of all, imposter syndrome, feeling like a fraud, feeling like you've got to fake it till you make it, it all just stems from self-doubt, feelings of doubting yourself, that you've made up some rule or you've got some parameters or some criteria in your mind that have a lot of weight. So in the example I just used, my belief, my rule was that I needed a piece of paper in order to do the thing and to be taken seriously by people. So that was my own rule that I made up in my head, right? So you will have, depending on what you're feeling a little bit funky about, you will have your own set of rules or criteria or parameters around what you think you need. So it might be, if you're a business owner, you might be thinking, oh, well, I need to make X amount of money before I can call myself a successful business owner, or I need to have this many clients or customers or sales before I can really own my space as a business owner. If you work in a job, you might be thinking, oh, well, I need to have 5 years of experience before I can really go for the job that I want to go for, or until I, can really feel or call myself an expert. If you are someone who really wants to start like a passion project, like start a podcast or write a book or start running events or workshops or retreats or something like that, you might be stopping yourself, holding yourself back because you have this rule, this criteria that you can't do it until. You can't do it until you have more experience, until you get a piece of paper, until you've been successfully working with 100 clients first or something, right? So there will be some set of rules that you've made that's actually stopping you from taking that next step. So it's really important to, have this understanding and awareness first of all. And the way that you can identify it yourself is just to give yourself, 5 or 10 minutes to stop and think about it. Think about the thing that you really want to do, whether it's starting a new business, starting a podcast, going for a promotion, if you're holding yourself back from showing your face online or creating the posts and the content that you really want, whatever it is that you just choose one thing for now that you really want to do, but you know that you're not doing it. And then just sit and think, why don't I think I can do this? What's the criteria? What's the set of rules that I've put around this thing? What do I think I need to have in order to take that step? Just write it down. And this alone can really highlight a lot of stuff for you. It's a really, really powerful exercise. And, it can just be dot points, or you might even think about it when you're driving the car or taking the dog for a walk tomorrow morning or something like that. But just know that this self-doubt, it is obviously very crippling, but just know that imposter syndrome and feeling this way, this doubt that we have about ourselves, it comes from your internal beliefs. It's actually got nothing to do with your skill, your ability, or what you've already experienced, what you've already done. So I'm going to say that again. Your imposter syndrome comes from the beliefs that you have about yourself. The beliefs that you have about yourself. It's actually got nothing to do with your skill, your experience, or your knowledge. That's pretty powerful to understand. So you might very well be feeling certain ways and have these beliefs about things, but that's not the ultimate truth, right? And if you can even just for a moment entertain the idea that it's not the ultimate truth and that there are other options, you're going to be 10 steps ahead of where you've been in the past. If you know that, if you can actually accept that, okay, this is a belief I have about myself, but it's not the ultimate truth, that can shift so much. And I just want to make mention that imposter syndrome and carrying these beliefs, it doesn't just happen to beginners, right? If you're in the first couple of years of business, if you're starting something new, starting a new project, it's not limited just to beginners. There are incredibly highly successful, experienced CEOs and managers and incredible successful entrepreneurs, 6-7-figure earners who still carry imposter syndrome. Yeah, so it's got nothing to do with whether you're a beginner or not. But the really important thing to understand ultimately is it's just a set of beliefs that you have. Now, the cool thing about beliefs is a belief is simply a thought or a sentence that you've repeated over and over again. You've repeated it to yourself silently, you've said it out loud, it's been in conversations, it's been reflected back to you in the media, on the news, on social media, you read it somewhere. A belief is simply a thought that you've repeated over and over again until it sticks. So what that means is beliefs can be changed. Yeah? A belief is not the ultimate truth. A belief is simply something that you've repeated until it becomes kind of cemented, secured in your brain, in your neural pathway. Yeah? So if you have the belief that for example, you need a piece of paper in order to be a coach, in order to be taken seriously, and you bring awareness to that, you get the ability to decide, is that the ultimate truth? And do I want to keep believing that? That's what I did. I asked myself, okay, I have this belief that people won't take me seriously if I don't have a piece of paper. Do I want to believe that? Well, no, I don't want to believe that because that's really limiting and it's actually stopping me from expanding into a business and doing the things that I really want to do. It's stopping me from becoming a coach. So with that awareness, I made a different decision. I decided to choose a different belief. Now, it takes time to shift beliefs. Sometimes it can happen super quickly, but be prepared that it does take awareness and practice. But over time, I reminded myself and I started saying different things about my ability to be a coach, about my ability to start a business. And so I created a new belief and I shifted my experience. So this is really possible for you. It's got nothing to do with your skill or your ability, and it's simply a belief that you have. Now, if you don't bring awareness to these things and you keep letting your imposter syndrome win, it's going to keep holding you back. It's going to keep you stuck where you are. So you're going to keep getting your same experiences or results. And if you don't have any results right now, if you are limited in your income or you're not signing clients or customers or you're not getting the promotions that you want, the longer you let your imposter syndrome win, the longer it will continue to hold you back. So you'll avoid opportunities, you'll avoid promotions, you'll avoid showing your face on social media. You'll avoid taking the next step and starting the thing. You'll not let yourself be a coach. You'll not let yourself create this really cool offer or retreat or workshop. You'll keep second guessing yourself. And it's a really shitty place to be, right? So your ability to listen to this and then to take action is everything. It's literally going to change your life. So what I want you to do, what I invite you to do is, number one, bring awareness around what imposter syndrome is, what's actually going on behind the scenes, which, we've already done. Just simply by listening to this is really powerful, right? If you know and you understand now that your imposter syndrome is no reflection of your ability or your skill, it's just because of a belief that you have, it means that you now get to change it. So the next time that you start having these feelings, the next time that you start to say, oh, I feel like a fraud, or oh, I can't do that because of this, oh, I can't go live because I don't have my makeup on, oh, I can't show my face because I look like shit, or I don't like the way I look today, or oh, I can't run a masterclass because I don't know enough information, oh, I can't talk about this topic because I don't have enough experience. Whatever is coming up for you, and you'll know this, yeah? Like, you need to just start bringing awareness to the things that you're saying. But the next time that you feel this coming up, what I want you to do is remind yourself, like, be aware of it, which you will naturally now be more aware of it. I want you to remind yourself of a win, a past win, something that you can claim as, oh, I did really well at this. In fact, what I want you to do is start writing down, put it in the notes in your phone, or have it in your journal, or have it in your book or on your computer, or create a Google Doc, whatever works for you. Maybe have it in multiple places. I want you to start writing down your wins, the things that you have successfully done before, the things that make you feel proud, the things that you are really happy about. Now, you have them. You actually have so many of them. I want you to start collecting them and putting them in some sort of document or place, right? Now, it can be big, large, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant. It doesn't have to necessarily even be a win that's related to the thing that you're feeling an imposter about, right? So for an example, if you keep saying to yourself, oh, I can't run a masterclass because I don't have enough experience in this topic, then what I want you to do is think about, okay, what do I have a lot of knowledge in? What can I talk about till the cows come home? What's a topic that I really love? What's an example or a time when I just went on this little rampage and I just spoke about this topic for ages and it was so cool and people loved it? Remember a time when somebody came to you for advice and you shared it and they said wow, thank you so much. These are all little wins. These are all evidence of where you're actually achieving. So what I want you to do is, when the imposter syndrome starts to rear its ugly head, have the awareness and then just think, all right, what's one thing that I know I really am good at? Or what's a past win that I've had? This is going to just shift your attention. So instead of going down the spiral of, oh my God, I'm not good enough and I can't do this, and you're going to shift your focus and keep your energy and show yourself evidence of what you can do. It might sound really simple, but I tell you that this will change your state. And if you keep doing this often enough, you're going to nip it in the bud. And you're going to be more in control of your thoughts and your energy. And you're not, by not going down into the spiral, the negative spiral of imposter syndrome, It's going to keep your awareness, your energy, your attention, your vibration in a much better place. So I want you to keep an accessible list of these achievements, of these wins, of these things that you're proud of yourself about. Every time you randomly think of one, I want you to add it to the list. So it's this ever-evolving, constantly growing, amazing list of your personal, professional, spiritual, physical, emotional wins. And as I said, I know that you have so many of them. There is one more little mantra that I would love to give you as well. And you can say this once you've ticked awareness, you've ticked acknowledging a win. In the moment, you can then just finish this off by saying a little mantra in the moment. So when doubt creeps in, I want you to say, even though right now I'm doubting myself, I know deep down I have valuable knowledge to share. Even though I'm doubting myself right now, I know deep down I have valuable knowledge to share. And just keep repeating it. Again, this is going to keep your focus on what you can do, what you do have. It's going to not have you walk that same beaten path of the belief that's keeping you stuck. You're going to start shifting your beliefs. So I would love to know how you found this. I would love to know when the situation arises and you start implementing some of these things that I've shared. I'd love to know how you go. Please send me a DM on Instagram with how it went for you and what worked really well. If there is something that you've been avoiding because you feel like a fraud or an imposter, I'd love for you to share it with me. And if you'd like some reframes, if you'd like some help with some reframes, or you want another mantra that you can use, then let me know, and I would love to just spitball a couple with you in my DMs in Instagram. That would be fantastic. And if you loved this topic, if you want to dive into imposter syndrome and self-doubt and how beliefs work and ways that you can really start shifting this in a big way, then I would love to invite you into my group program, Authentic You. This is the final week, depending on when you're listening to this, this is the final week of the first round. So this is a brand new program that I have created. It's honestly a culmination of my life's work. I'm so excited for this program. I will absolutely be running more rounds of it, but this first one is going to be phenomenal. Basically, this is a step-by-step confidence and belief building program. It's all designed to help you feel and believe and be your most authentic self. You might not know who she is. Maybe you've never met her before, but this program is designed to help you discover her and shift through things like, and really embrace things like self-belief, self-trust, confidence, intuition, authority. So if you're a business owner, this is going to transform the way you show up online. It will transform your content. It will change the way that you feel about you and your business and what you're doing, which will naturally magnetize clients and customers and sales to you. And if you don't have a business, but you're working in a job, but you want to progress, you want to go for a promotion, or you want to step outside of that, or you want to start a project of your own, like a podcast or a workshop or something, this program, Authentic You, is the best way to build the foundations to get your mindset and your belief right, so that you have the tools and the strategies to make sure that it happens. So you're going to go from self-doubt to certainty. I'm so excited for the people who are already, the women who are already inside. And yeah, you still have a week So please reach out to me if that's something that you know that you would love support with. It's 12 weeks. We start October 28th. We're going to go all through the Christmas, New Year period so that when you come around to the start of next year, you are going to have everything you need to hit the ground running instead of, scrambling to find and make resolutions and think, oh, what am I going to do this year? How am I going to make this happen? It's a beautiful space. We're going to take plenty of time to rest as well. This is really about slowing down, resetting so that next year you can really do things differently. So no more hustle, no more stress, no more grinding. This is about, resetting within yourself so that you can use other strategies that you've learned to really start kicking those goals. So if that's something that you feel called to, again, please reach out, send me a DM, and I can send you all the details, or else just jump onto Instagram, onto my bio, and all the information is in there. On that note, I am going to wrap it up. I do just want to really take this moment to remind you of how freaking powerful you are. You genuinely have everything that you need inside of you right now to show up confidently. It might not feel like it, but I promise you that you have it inside of you already. You have the experience, the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, the skill to do the thing that you want to do. So it's time to stop doubting yourself and start taking this beautiful aligned action in a really powerful way. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next riff.